Copenhagen, summer 2018. There is a calmer atmosphere in the city after 2 days of continuous good news, but there is still an element of fear surrounding Pride, which is less than a week away. The city has a long tradition for happy, exuberant Pride parades, and ordinary people are becoming aware that there is still a danger to people's safety and health. The police are no longer considering cancelling the event entirely, but there is still apprehension in the air. Meanwhile, in the dreaming, a number of huge eggs lie crushed on the ground. It is almost completely dark around them, with only an occasional glare, followed by the sound of a massive creature exhaling to illuminate them. Meanwhile, the motley has learned much of the history of the last days of the Resurgence Wars in Denmark, but there are still gaps to be filled, if they wish to pursue this knowledge. With their confidence clearly shaken, they now stand at a crossroads, having to decide what to do, or most of them do, as one has already made his choice and given his service to the Winter Court in return for recognition. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Copenhagen Dreaming. I can't for the life of me remember which episode we're up to, but we are today hopefully going to be joined by everyone. There's one person missing, but he should drop in very soon. We have a small connectivity issue with the internet here in Copenhagen for at least two of us, myself included. So if there are problems, I think is trouble and problem combined should be troublums, or troubles. With the sound, then that is why. We hope it won't be a problem. Anyway, it's time for a recap. So, Chris, please.
Yes, for the record, and for the sake of dear Daniel who uploads this, I believe this is the 13th episode of Copenhagen Dreaming. My notes go up to session 12.
All right.
So,
all right.
Oh, there's our final person now.
There's our final person. So, yep.
So last time on Copenhagen Dreaming, we went into the dreaming of Copenhagen, funnily enough, as these things happen. Although it wasn't quite Copenhagen, it was like this weird Disneyfied version of it with lots of lovely spires and it's like if the architect king of Denmark back in the day had a bigger budget and more time on his hands.
Oh dear, old Christian IV would probably roll over in his grave at the very idea.
Well, I'm British, I'm allowed to get away with insulting
yes, you are.
Copenhagen.
Yes, you are.
We made our way through the strangely quiet and empty city, well, the part we were in, and countryside, leading out to this big beach that we were meant to reach near the Ark, where the big battle had taken place. It took a few hours, but we got there in the end. And what we found there were the very few, very tattered remains of a battlefield, like a ruined pavilion tent, and the flag completely indiscernible into what crest it bore. We see part of the beach has got a huge strip of cooled molten glass running through it, where dragonfire had fused the sand together, and we started seeing and hearing things. We started hearing things anyway. We started hearing the sound of a dragon chasing down people. We heard the voice of Ivar Kos on the back of his terrible Drake Kindle, insisting that they take no prisoners, that they all die. And then we find something. We find a kind of shimmering hazy wound in the air that we spend some glamour opening up, and actually shows us things. We're not just hearing things anymore. We actually see Ivar Kos on his Dragon Kindle, and we see them burning away and cutting down commoners like wheat, and we see one young satyr give her life to try and give the rest time to escape, and it's all very it's very noble. It's very sort of, noble to watch her do this. We also then hear and see, through some further magic, Ivar and a younger a younger Duke Hardenberg. I'm not sure if he would have been a duke at that point, but yeah, Malachius Hardenberg, regardless. Arguing about what was going on, and the fact that that Hardenberg was growing increasingly desperate at Ivar's quite bloodthirsty actions. And then, after some further searching, we find proof that Hardenberg had made a deal with the lady, with the massive dragon, to put an end to Ivar and Kindle's rampage by whatever means. And he was desperate. He was prepared to offer her anything. Didn't think about what he was saying. And the lady, being the smug and arrogant, power-hungry creature that she is, took him at his word and flew off to do what she had to. As far as we can tell, that means probably killing Kindle, because we know for a fact that Ivar was still alive afterwards, but who knows? We don't know for certain. What the point was that, yeah, so we saw all that, and it was all quite revealing. We made our way back to the Trod in the Duke's office, and we spoke about what we'd seen, and he told us about how he suspected that Kindle had actually been influencing Ivar's mind and brought out this darker side in him more prominently. He revealed that the lady had basically asked for Jutland, the whole of Jutland, to be put under her power as payment for her service, and obviously did not give this. Didn't really elaborate on what happened regarding her eggs, but I'm sure that we will find that out later on. And he talks quite sadly about how, despite the fact that at first Ivar seemed to get better, he slowly degraded again, and eventually he took off to find his son, and then he never saw either Ivar or Valdemar, Ivar's son, again. And that despite the madness that Ivar fell under, Hardenberg does actually miss his old friend. After waxing about this, he gave us a box to deliver to Valentina Rosenspar in the Winter Court, which we do. He also advises us that if we were planning to go to Amar in the Dreaming, which was something we planned to, because that's where the lady was seen flying off in our visions, do so during Pride, when it'll kind of be the safest for us to do so. After this, we all kind of split up and go our separate ways to do some things. Jonas, August, and Sonny go onto the Winter Court to deliver the box and whatever's inside to the Duchess. Jasmine and Agnes go off to check on Jasmine's parents, because Xenia gave her a text to say that she's scared the vampires and Shahi's off. But we focused on Jonas and the rest first, and getting to the Winter Court and showing her the box. It's revealed that basically inside the box is this a ring with the seal of the city on it, and Duke Hardenberg has officially turned power over the two courts of the Fae and Fae matters to the Winter Court and to the Duchess. After 4 years of not doing so when he should have done so, he seems now to have done so. Whether this is out of a crisis of conscience or whether it's him washing hands of the responsibilities of power now that things are going a bit to shit, we can't say. But either way, the Duchess now is in charge of things.
Indeed she is.
While this was happening, yeah?
Yes, no, please, go on.
While this was happening, or after this happened, shortly after, August spoke privately with the Duchess, and basically, in return for an opportunity to have a position of authority and power, and so he can, how would I say this? So he could learn more, and he can learn sort of power he's interested in. He offers his loyalty to the Winter Court, so that he could be made a squire. He wants to do so as an opportunity to prove that he's not like his family, and also because he's still the rebellious young soul that he is, he wants to basically stick it to Hardenberg and the Summer Court with his actions. And the Duchess kind of approves of this. So she squires him to Susan Heidenberg, and Susan lays out the conditions for him being squired under her, and it's all fine. So yeah, August now is in a position of fact. He's part of the system he decries and hates. What that will lead to, we don't yet know. Meanwhile, Jasmine and Agnes find Jasmine's father safe at Shahi. He's quite tired because he's had to basically run the restaurant by himself, whereas Alma, Jasmine's mother, has been been at home, and Jasmine offers to help clean up the last bits of the restaurant that night before they close. On the way out, after deciding to, go home, they are met by Caroline, Snake Pooker of the Shadow Court, and secretly Charlie's girlfriend. None of us know this yet. And she comes with a message saying that the lady has invited us to speak with her. And it's just the two of us, and no Shio allowed, or, well, otherwise we won't speak with her, I expect. And we're going to do this at the time of she told us this, tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the afternoon at the Fall of Man in Amar. And we agree to it. But Agnes decided to go to text everyone else in the group to let them know beforehand, to meet up beforehand at 11 o'clock at the Dream Factory to sort of go over things. Then, let's see. Yeah, the other thing I can think of is that Jonas went home to speak to his mum, and she's still under the influence of the glamour, so she still remembers some things about Valdemar and the fact that, her son is an elf. And August goes to visit Suzanne at her, I believe the business she owns. Is it like a law office? Handling all the legal work for the nightclubs she is sort of supporting. And again, there they prepare the paperwork for, as it were, for his being a squire and his actual job working at one of the nightclubs for her as a kind of freelance bouncer. I believe she hires him out to different establishments to do security work. And that's about as far as we got, as far as I can tell. I know that's taken a little while to do, but
no, that's fine. It was a lot happened last time, so it would necessarily take a little while to get through it all. That's fine.
All right.
Thank you for that. And that means that basically when we rejoin all of you, unless anyone has any protests, it's 11 o'clock the following day, and the location is the Dream Factory where you had agreed to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound like there's any protest. All right. In that case, we are at the Dream Factory.
Hey, everyone.
Guys.
Hey.
Hello.
What did you want to meet about? Not that I'm opposed to meeting, of course.
Yeah, I really need to know what was in that box. Come on.
Oh,
Curiosity.
It was nothing. It was just the entire power from going from summer court to winter court. So nothing much.
Nothing?
Oh. You mean the Duke actually gave, turned power over to the Winter Court?
For the first time in 3 years.
Oh, it was 3 years. Out of character, of course.
Wasn't it?
Was it 3 or 4?
It was 3.
Yes, it was 3 years.
Okay, I added a year on for dramatic tension, ladies and gentlemen. But, wow. What inspired him to do that?
Things going to shit on his watch, and he didn't want to handle it.
Is that a guilt?
I mean, there can be several reasons, right? Either because he's like, okay, shit's coming my way, I'm giving it away. Or maybe there's a big chance I'm gonna die, I'm not gonna leave everyone in bloody chaos.
Sure, guilt is actually part of his vocabulary.
Yes. Well, that is quite something.
Yeah. Did everything go all right with you?
Well, my parents are okay, and the restaurant is fine, and all that, but something happened afterwards.
What?
Caroline. You.
You all right?
Charlie had been mid gulp in a hot chocolate, now choking on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jonas comes to his aid, hitting his back or whatever. Are you all right, Charlie?
Oh no! Please do go on.
It's just she came because she had something to tell us.
Which one is that again?
Isn't that the snake puka?
Yes. And,
Oh, her. Yeah, I remember.
The
her.
one at the performance thing too.
Do you want us to go and take all the glamour from the parades and give it to her?
no, she spoke to us on behalf of, well, she said to me and to Agnes, and as far as I can tell, it only applied to me and to Agnes, that we were invited to speak with the lady.
Yeah, no pointy ears, otherwise you will not.
What?
Yeah.
Hopefully you told her no.
We kind of did the opposite of that.
Yeah. Kind of have a meeting with her at 3 in the afternoon.
Oh my god.
What?
This is brilliant.
We were curious. This could be an opportunity to learn something.
Yeah.
Or to get sovereign. Sorry.
Have you ever heard the saying, curiosity killed the cat?
Probably. But neither of us are cats.
Oh, actually, that might not have been the worst thing you did. That is assuming that dragons function on fairy tale rules, and turning her down would have been rude, and you are safe as her guests. But I don't know if reality works in fairy tale rules for dragons.
That's a good point. Is that something we would know if we had a roll for it?
No idea.
Okay. Thank you.
Each dragon would be different, quite likely.
Right.
Yeah, the little one that was helping us was quite different from the lady. So, yeah.
Oh
I'm not
man.
sure that we can win her over just by flattering and cookies.
And you already said yes.
Yeah. It didn't really feel like a situation where you could actually say no.
Right. Oh my god.
It is risky, but it might. We might learn something, and we might. Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it sounded like you broke it off in the middle. You said we might, and then you stopped mid-sentence.
No, that was me struggling to complete a coherent
okay.
sentence.
It's okay.
That happens.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
we all
Completing
know.
coherent sentences is only reserved for people who have, who haven't had an entire day.
It's just so much easier to articulate myself with a Welsh accent. I don't know why, but I can't do it. But I'm trying not to do that.
Have you tried a joint? That might help you.
No, we've had this conversation. No.
So, same as normal, all fucked up.
Hmm.
Or snafu.
It's like you said. It would be impolite to turn her down, and of course, I think it might help if we were able to speak and come away with it with something to tell you all.
Sunny ruffles up his hair. Yeah, had it been me, I would probably have said yes too. Curiosity is horrible.
Mm.
I probably wouldn't, but that's because I know how they feel about us pointy ears.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing.
And also, if you look at the bright side, it's only the two of us. So if something actually does go wrong, it's not all of us that has to be taken. You can actually kind of call for help, or you can actually figure out if they do something weird to us.
Hmm.
If you're aware and stuff like that. So it's not all of us going in blind.
For
Right.
some reason, that isn't actually very comforting.
Yeah.
Well,
Isn't it the same as saying, don't worry, it's just me who's gonna die?
It is.
well, yeah, but that is comforting, isn't it?
For who?
No.
Us?
Where?
Are you assuming we don't want you back?
No, I'm not. It's just for, the whole bigger picture.
Look, that is the point. I don't think either of us wants to die or to get turned against you for any reason, but we have to be practical about this.
Well, the practical thing to do would figure out a way to be immune to Sovereign, but I don't think that's going to happen.
The smart thing to do would not go.
Maybe we could disguise Xenia as one of us, maybe?
I don't think that will work.
No, it was a silly suggestion.
I truly believe that the lady would be strong enough to see through that.
If she wanted to cast Sovereign over you, maybe she would have found some easier way than to lure you all the way to Amma.
Yeah, she has been showing us that she can go wherever the fuck she pleases and do whatever the fuck she wants. So.
Yeah.
To whoever she wants.
Yep.
But I get a feeling she likes playing games.
Sounds like it. Well, we saw it from the memories, right? She is not dumb. She's not, I'm gonna kill everyone because I like it. She's smart about it. She wants power, and that's what she's going for. I mean, what better time would be to wait for the Duke to give in and give her whatever the fuck she wanted to do something about the situation.
She is clever.
Very.
You guys need to be on guard.
Yes. And so do you. You need to be prepared to careful around us if there's even the slightest concern that we might be compromised after this.
Don't worry, if you're weird, we'll figure out what happened.
Oh, maybe that's why she's doing this. Maybe she just wants to sow a seed of doubt in our group.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Your sound is going quite fussy.
Ashley.
Like.
Is that it?
You do sound quite far away. There's a lot of noise on the line. I don't know what it is.
It sounds like someone stuffed a bee into the microphone.
Nothing wrong in this end.
There we go. It cleared up.
Approximately 50% of what you're saying is going through in my end.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, once in a while I can hear a complete sentence, and then sometimes when Kazaya is talking, it's just something like that.
Yeah. I think I think this is one of those situations that I mentioned when we started, that we have sound problems today. I think we're just gonna have to try and battle through it.
Joan?
Yes?
There is a thing in Roll20 that it tells me. There is a high number of users in your video chat call, meaning everyone in here is apparently on video and voice, and that takes a ton of bandwidth. In the Roll20.
Ooh.
It says so in the green text.
Oh, it seems to have turned mine back to voice and video.
Yeah, it does for me too. Weird.
That's a good point, yeah. I have mine with the same problem, actually. I've only just changed it myself.
Yeah. Maybe going in and fixing that will help.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, everyone, if you look up in the right-hand corner in Roll20, there's a little cogwheel.
Yeah.
If you click on that, and then scroll down, it should say something along the lines of, I want to broadcast to others, I want to receive from others. That should be changed to nothing, and then just click the reconnect button. Because I think Aya has a point.
That actually did it for me. I've heard everyone since I did that perfectly.
Excellent.
Well, it did say in this little thing I have that you may experience degraded performance or instability as a result.
I think we did. Anyway, it helped. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So, guys, the situation is that I think, was there anything that went missing, really? Do we think, or can we just continue? I think we can just continue the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, that might be why she's doing it, to sow a seed of doubt in our group.
Anyway, should we find out some way to mic you guys up so the rest of us can follow you?
Oh, that's a
Don't
smart
you
idea.
think? Don't you think she'll figure that out?
Well, she didn't say that it wasn't allowed. She only said that she wouldn't talk pointy ears.
Shut up, sir.
Also, I'd rather be foiled in trying than have had the opportunity and not grasped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless the opportunity gets us killed, of course.
If it's that much of a problem, we can wire you guys up, and then us pointy ears cannot listen to what's being said. That way, there'll be no pointy ears, even at a distance.
Isn't
Well-
that just semantics?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that she is aware of that we are a motley, and whatever we learn, you will learn as well. At some point. So,
Unless she magically forces you to not be able to tell.
that's true.
There is a way that can make it a little easier.
What's that?
They have mobile phones.
Oh yeah, we can actually just record.
Calling someone and then just leaving it in the pocket, we can hear if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned. Sonny, you're thinking like a true knocker.
Sonny looks so red. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, please do go on. I'll sit here and watch.
It's nice to know that Sonny can be useful.
Yeah.
But I answer that.
Don't worry, Sunny is very useful.
And now you're just patronizing me, Jonas.
That was not in character.
Oh! For a second I thought it was!
You know, I'm the bastard here, not him.
What do you know about that? My parents aren't even married!
I was talking about the other pointy-eared dude over there.
That kind of bastard.
Yeah, literally.
Alright, that derailed a bit.
Right.
Sorry about that.
But the phone idea isn't bad. What I'm saying is, if someone's going to be on the receiving end of the phone, it shouldn't be me or August, because in that way we will at least be keeping to the spirit of the agreement. No pointy ears.
If, and since we're
Or is it the
two phones and we have two not pointy ears in our group, then one could call Sonia and the other one could call Charlie, just to make sure that if anything goes wrong, then there's another person on the line.
That's a good idea.
I would also hate being too far away in case shit goes south.
We'll probably have to settle for being on the edge of Armagh.
Luckily, I'm fast.
I'll. Do any of you have a spare phone?
Why?
Just have one.
Because if they're doing this the low-tech way, I'm just watching out for low-tech stuff now. Sonny has overtaken the high-tech part. If they ask to have your phones,
Oh, I didn't think about that.
That's not a problem. We can. I think I have a spare one. Just maybe.
could you look if you have it?
Could you
Well, considering the fact that he usually works with the guys at Christiania, he probably has a spare phone somewhere on him.
I imagine that he's got a throwaway phone, yes.
Yeah. So he just pulls it up, an old style flip phone.
I haven't seen one of those in ages.
Yeah.
Still being sold.
That's kind of amazing. I always missed having one. Oh well.
So
They still sell them because I believe the idea is they are meant to be harder to trace.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you only need that if you're doing something you don't want traced?
Anywho,
Probably.
Jonas grins.
Or if you're nostalgic.
or paranoid.
Are all free.
Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me.
Right, you had an idea, Charlie.
yeah, I'll just see if I can, how much I can do with their phones. Would be nice to have some video.
Oh,
What are you gonna do?
very interesting. Agnes just quickly hands over her phone to Charlie.
What am I gonna do? Well, let me just have a look. See.
Like a retinal camera or something? That would be awesome. Is that even invented yet? Well, I'm sure you can do it.
I think I wrote that Jonas had a tablet of some sort.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Probably.
I'll now we're a place where creativity is free. I'll see if I can take out the camera from the tablet.
Oh, and put it into the old flip phone.
No, to see if I can mount it anywhere on Agnes or.
Ooh. That is very possible. You can certainly do that. He's just dismantled your tablet, Jonas.
Yeah, normally I would be very miffed, but you know, my friends are going to have a talk with the lady.
I'll put it back together, I promise.
Are you sure?
You won't know the difference.
Except it's a knocker and there's always small error.
Shh.
This is where we realize that the small error is it keeps taking pictures forever and ever afterwards.
Oh my god.
More like an Instagram filter you really do not want.
Oh, that could be hilarious. It's constantly the puppy one.
Do you want a role for
You know what?
for mounting
Yes. Let's
For-
let's get a roll.
technology?
Yes, plus intelligence. Ooh.
Never mind.
Perfect.
Roll.
No problem. You not only managed to get the camera out, you managed to disguise it on one of the others in such a way that you're pretty sure that nobody stands any chance of finding it.
And there, as I turn on Jonas's
Tablet.
thank you, and show the camera feed, we have it.
That's impressive.
Yeah, should have built in a microphone into that one as well.
You could take the microphone from the tablet too.
Would you be able to
I
disguise
wouldn't
it?
push my luck.
I'm about to say you're pretty sure that if you do that, you run a serious risk of ruining your perfect work.
I'm pretty sure part of the signal transmitter is the microphone.
So
That would make sense.
we'll stick with the phone in pocket, and if that goes wrong, at least we have video.
That's a good idea. I really don't like this.
It'll be fine.
Well, to be honest, I'm pretty scared, but I'm also kind of looking forward to it. I mean, it is quite an opportunity.
Just make sure to be exceedingly polite.
I'll just do whatever Jasmine does.
Try to be polite, flattering. See if she likes any riddles.
I don't think she's a sphinx.
But in certain fantasy stories and certain legends about dragons, riddles tend to intrigue them.
Oh.
But
I didn't know that.
well, again, every dragon is meant to be a little unique, so we will just, as you say, try and be polite and work our way from there.
Yeah. And you guys, he points to Sonny and Charlie, will have to be on camera and phone duty because I don't want these two eaten because I'm accidentally listening in.
I actually really appreciate that.
I have to say, I love the concept of that. Accidentally eaten.
Whoops.
Yeah.
I accidentally ate her.
Yes,
But you were the one grabbing her. Yes, and I accidentally swallowed.
I've got this terrible itch on my uvula. Could you get up there and have a look at it, please? Oh, they slipped. Oh, they slipped, and they've just fallen down my throat. Oh dear, what am I to do?
Well, can't throw them up now. That would be a waste of food.
Oh.
So now we have sound and now we have video. Do we need to make any other plans for
Escape route? I mean, an escape route would be nice.
We don't know where they meet them yet. Where would they hide a big dragon like that?
So, considering we're the only ones who can see her.
Was someone about to say something?
I said, didn't she have a human form as well?
Oh, right.
She did.
Didn't you
Amma
talk about that,
is-
August?
Yeah, she does. She looks like a regular woman, if she wants to.
And a rather gorgeous one.
Yeah.
Would you expect anything less? I mean, a dragon, I imagine, takes great pride in their appearance, whatever form they take.
Okay, so where were you meeting her?
At the
The Fall of Man, 3:00.
Right. Someone get us Google Maps so we can plan a route.
Right here, on your own tablet.
Thank you. I think the easiest way to get out would be he starts planning.
Yeah, basically you set up an escape route, and you find that Fall of Man is sufficiently frequented, if you can call it that, by enough people that there are actually a couple of shots from inside the place on Google Map.
Oh.
Sometimes that happens. You can find places where you can actually look inside.
How very useful.
Basically, what you see is the image on the if you look at the
handout.
The handout, indeed.
Okay.
and everything went very, very, very quiet. While you're sitting there, another round of hot chocolate is actually brought down to your seat.
Did we order this?
Nope.
I didn't.
Well, then where did all this come from then?
Looking around.
Who brings us? Does this brought to us?
Yeah, it's brought to you by Shade, by the guy who owns the place.
Hey, Shade. We didn't order these. Who's getting us?
Oh, sorry. I thought you knew. At least the point was that you were. Somebody knew that you were going to be here. They prepaid for a round of chocolate for all of you.
Did they?
I mean, you're regulars, so you know.
Yeah, we're pretty often here. Isn't that nice? But do you remember who it was?
Yeah. It was a woman. She was well, kind of good looking actually, and she said that she knew you. She didn't say her name, but she said she knew you.
Do you know quite a lot of people actually? Can you describe us with it?
Yeah, sure.
Blonde hair.
He begins to describe a woman, and you can kind of tell from what he's describing that he's describing Caroline's human form.
Charlie chokes on the
On the chocolate again.
Seriously, Charlie, what is wrong? Are you allergic to her or something?
No, it's just too big a gulp.
Oh, be careful with that.
Well, I think I know why. I get the same choking feeling every time someone talks about her. I want to kick her out too.
Oh, yeah.
After what she did to us last time, I get you, Charlie.
Well, thank you, Shade. We figure out who it is.
Thank you, Shade.
Oh, you're welcome.
And as soon as the man's gone, Jonas looks around and says, "We should look for bugs."
How?
He might have bugged the place.
No, I mean, do you have experience looking for things like that?
No, but I have eyes.
We have a Charlie.
Then we have a Charlie.
What?
We should.
How to locate bugs? As in, recording devices, not those insects.
I guess.
You don't really have materials with you at this point where you can jury rig something to do that. You've already kind of used what you had on you.
I guess it's gonna cost someone's phone, and at least, and that's maybe a bit drastic right now. So I can maybe look into it later.
Well, just have to hope that. Whatever she's planning, it doesn't bring us to any harm.
Agnes looks under the table in his gym to make sure.
No, there's nothing under the table.
She's expected.
Well, there's a dog who wants the chocolate, but that's about it.
Why are they playing these games?
What did you say just now?
Yeah. So yeah, what did you say?
I said, why are they playing these games with us? That's a silly question. I know why they're doing it. We're making waves and they want to test us, I suppose.
I suppose games are preferable to outright attacks.
That is the truth. but it's still uncomfortable.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeesh.
whoa. Who's playing with the microphone?
It's coming through Henrik and Astrid's microphone at the
Oh,
moment.
that's weird.
Oh, I think I know why. That's because I should put down the headset, I think.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Is it gone again now?
There's a little bit of it, but it wasn't as
No,
bad
it's
as
still there.
Yeah, it's still there. There it was.
What does it sound like? Because
It sounds
I
like
thought
you're basically like almost like you're rubbing the microphone across your clothes.
you still have your.
Yee.
That's weird.
We almost need to create a splash for the video which just says technical difficulties, hang in there, baby.
Yes, it's fine. We'll figure it out.
Whoa.
Yes. More hurricane flying through our...
Yep. Oh, this is really extreme.
Yeah.
Is it possible that we can actually make the break now?
Yeah, sure. We can take the absolutely.
Just restart the computer.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll take the break now, and then we'll be back with more of Copenhagen Dreaming afterwards. So please don't go anywhere.